Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you so much for joining today's course, Babarvani Guru Nanak Sahib on War and Tyranny. In today's class, our last class, we will study the fourth Shabad from Babarvani and talk about its contemporary applications. The first 45 minutes of this class will be led by lecturer Santbir Singh, after which we will have time for Q&A from the audience. Before I hand it off to Santbir Singh, I will briefly introduce him. Santbir Singh is a research associate with SikhRI. He is currently doing his PhD in sociology at York University. His graduate research focuses on Sikh activism and the inherent relationship between Sikhi and anarchism, explored through historical and contemporary study of Sikh governance models, especially the Sabad Khalsa. I will pass it to Santbir Singh now.
Great to see everyone again today. I'm really looking forward to our last class. Let's get started right away. So our last class is called the Speech of Truth, and you'll see why it's called that as we go through this last Shabad. We did the first Pauri of this Shabad last week. Let's look at the second Pauri now, and then go through the translation. So again, this is Tilang Mahalla Pehla. ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੇ ਗੁਣ ਨਾਨਕ ਗਾਵੇ ਮਾਸਪੁਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਖ ਮਸੋਲਾ ਜਿਨ ਉਪਾਈ ਰੰਗ ਰਵਾਈ ਬੈਠਾ ਵੇਖੇ ਵਖ ਇਕੇਲਾ ਸੱਚਾ ਸੋ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਚਤ ਭਾਵ ਸਚੜਾ ਨਿਆਉ ਕਰੇਗ ਮਸੋਲਾ ਕਾਇਆ ਕੱਪੜ ਟੁਕ ਟੁਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਹਿੰਦੁਸਤਾਨ ਸਮਾਲਸੀ ਬੋਲਾ ਆਵਨ 78 ਜਾਨ 97 ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਉਠਸੀ ਮਰਦ ਕਾ ਚੇਲਾ ਸੱਚ ਕੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਨਾਨਕ ਆਖੇ ਸੱਚ ਸੁਨਾਏ ਸੀ ਸੱਚ ਕੀ ਬੇਲਾ. So to do a quick wrap up from last week, the first Pauri was directed to Bhai Lalo. In it, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji used the metaphor of a marriage. He again talked about the suffering of women, and he ended off talking about the fact that Khoon ke soile gaviye nanak rat ka kangu pai ve lalo, that the songs of wedding that are being sung are songs of blood. And instead of putting saffron on the bridegroom and the bride, blood is being put on them. So just this really horrific imagery that Guru Sahib Ji is using to describe what is happening, what he is witnessing in Ahmedabad. Though some scholars believe that this Shabad may have been revealed later in Lahore when Guru Nanak Sahib Ji witnessed what happened in Lahore. Of course, we can never know for certain. Let's read the second Pauri now. Let's go over the translation for the second Pauri now. Sahib ke gun nanak gave, Maspuri vich aak masola. Maspuri, what a evocative phrase, Maspuri. Mas meaning meat or corpses or dead bodies, and Puri meaning town or city. So a town of corpses. That in this town of corpses, I am singing your virtues, O Master, O Vaheguru, O Sahib. Sahib ke gun nanak gave, maspuri vich aak masola. Jin upai rang ravai, betha vekhe vak akela. That the one who has given this world its color, meaning given this world its form, its substance, is also watching what is happening with this world detached and alone, separated. This is going back to that central Sikh principle that Vaheguru is both immersed within creation, but also separate from creation. The Vaheguru is both immanent, and transcendent. So most religious traditions will either have a divine being that is immanent or a divine being that is transcendent. Transcendent meaning something that is far, not reachable by humans. Immanent meaning something that is very personal, that human beings can interact with. What's unique in Sikhi is that Vaheguru Sahib Ji is both immanent and transcendent, that both things are true at the same time. And Guru Sahib Ji is describing that this world where all this horrible stuff is happening, that Vaheguru is both within it, but Vaheguru is also detached from it and not experiencing it, but looking upon it, what's happening. And then Guru Nanak Sahib Ji says that whatever Vaheguru does is true. And whatever Vaheguru's justice is, whatever Ikoankar's justice is also true. And that in every moment, everything that Vaheguru does is true justice. This, of course, can be a difficult line to understand after looking at the previous Pauri and the previous Shabads. Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is saying that everything that's happening is just because it's happening within Guru Sahib Ji's hukam, but he's also critiquing what is happening and criticizing what is happening and condemning what is happening. And so we're left with that central tension again. This next line is quite interesting. Kaya kapar tuk tuk hosi. Tuk tuk hosi means torn piece by piece. Kapar meaning cloth. And here kapar means the body, the cloth of the body. Hindustan Samal Si Bolla. That when this body is torn apart, Hindustan or India will understand what I am saying here, will remember what I said here. So, what is this body that Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is talking about? It seems to be that Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is talking about South Asia in general, that when South Asia is ripped apart, it will remember what I have said. That when India is ripped apart, it will remember what I have said. And this is what Guru Nanak Sahib Ji says. Avan atatade Jan Satanave Hor bi utsi Mard ka chela Sach ki bani Nanak akhe Sach sunai si Sach ki bela. So Guru Nanak Sahib Ji does something that only happens once in all of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. As far as we can tell, there's only one prophecy in all of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, a direct prophecy where the Gurus say this will happen on this date, and then this will happen on this date. It's pretty strange. It's very interesting, and it's something we're going to spend a little bit of time exploring. So Guru Nanak Sahib Ji says, they will come in 78, but depart in 97, and then another follower of a brave man will also rise. Horbi Ursi Mardika Jella. And then after making this prophecy, which is something very unique that the Guru does not do often, if ever, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji then doubles down on what he's done and says, not only have I made this prediction, this prophecy, not a prediction, a prophecy, but what I am saying is the truth, and I have said it now in the moment that it needed to be said, the moment of truth. And in this moment of truth, I will only speak the truth. So the word Sach appears 3 times there, as you can see. Sach ki bani, Nanak akhe, Sach sunaisi, Sach ki bella. Ke hun vela aa gaya, Sach sunan da. That now is the moment, now is the time has come to say true things in this moment of truth. And what Guru Nanak Sahib is saying in this moment of truth is that they will come in 78 and they will depart in 97, and then another brave man will also arise. Remember that in India they use the Bikrami calendar, which is about 52 years off from the Gregorian Christian calendar. So Guru Nanak Sahib Ji says they come in 78 and they leave in 97, and then another brave man will also arise. So what Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is talking about and what happened after Guru Nanak Sahib Ji made the statement is that the Mughals came in 78, but then their kingdom did not last. Babar, after his death, passed on his emperorship to his son Humayun, this man on the right in this image. And Humayun could not keep the Mughal Empire. And a Patani ruler named Sher Shah Suri instead usurped the Mughal throne and ruled for 5 years until Humayun was able to again reestablish control of North India. So Sher Shah Suri interrupted Mughal rule for a period of 5 years. Now, why would Guru Nanak Sahib Ji make this bold prediction? Why would he make a prediction where nowhere else in Bani predictions are made, prophecies are made? And why would he emphasize it by saying this is the truth, the truth, the truth? And what I am saying is the truth, and I'm saying it now in this moment of truth. What's the reasoning behind this? It's a pretty interesting statement that Guru Nanak Sahib Ji has done. And we know that the prophecy is true because the dates match up with when Humayun lost the Mughal Empire. I think that in that moment where Babar is victorious, where he has defeated his enemies so completely, where he has destroyed all opposition, and he is ruling over all of South Asia as the Emperor of Hindustan, as the Sultan of Delhi, Sultan of Delhi. Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is saying to Babar, all of this that you have achieved, all of this that you think you will last forever for you, this will also be gone in an instant. And what you have gained now will be gone. And someone else will arise who will think himself worthy. And he will take over your empire. And then in turn, that person will lose the empire. And in turn, the person after will lose the empire. And these things that we focus so much energy on, for us regular folks who don't have empires to take over, the things that we focus so much time and energy on, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is saying these things don't last. They simply do not last. You will not have this forever. What you think that you are so proud of in this moment, that you are gloating to other people about, that I have achieved this, look at me, look at what I have achieved, it will be gone in an instant. That Vaheguru has the capacity to turn an emperor into a beggar in a second, and everything you have will be gone. So this really bold prophecy that Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is making, and a really dramatic way to end the Shabad, and a really dramatic way to end the 4 Babarvani Shabads. that don't think that in this moment where everything is glorious for you, though you built it on the literal corpses of tens of thousands of people, this will not last. And I want us to imagine that Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is saying this prophecy to Babar's face. And he's saying to Babar's face, what you have right now will not last, so someone else will come and take it all away. And it becomes this bold, powerful, rebellious statement by Guru Nanak Sahib Ji. The type of statement that gets you thrown in jail, of course. It's something for us to think about, and I want you to leave with what this is one of the things you think about. That nowhere in Guru Granth Sahib Ji are there prophecies made with such specific dates. There are Sikh traditions, Sakhis, where other prophecies are made, but they're not contained within Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And the fact that Guru Nanak Sahib Ji contained a prophecy within the Shabad is a pretty important statement. And we have to understand why he did that and why he made sure to include that in this Bani. And of course, at the beginning of the Shabad, he says, I'm not actually doing this. This is all coming to me from Akal Purkh Vaheguru. Jaise main kasam ki bani tesra kari gyan ve lalo, right? That as it comes to me, I am simply speaking it. With that wrapped up, let's go on to the sort of big world applications of these four Shabads and the Babarvani tradition in general. And before I do that, I want us to, let's talk about this Shabad specific principles first. So Vaheguru is always just. Gurbani is Vaheguru's message. Societal corruption breeds destruction. Speak truth to power when needed. Do not sulk over unfavorable conditions. You can change your destiny and be righteous and stand for everyone's rights. Before we get to that, I want to again zero in on one key theme that all four of these Shabads have touched on, which is the experience of women. And I use here an image of women from Delhi 1984, of two women comforting a woman who, God knows what she has seen or experienced in November of 1984. Because I wanted to make this very real to us as Sikhs. That oftentimes in conflict zones, women are targeted with sexual violence. Women are purposely targeted by both sides in war as a tool to dehumanize the enemy. And Guru Nanak Sahib Ji asks us throughout these Shabads to identify with the experience of women. You'll notice in these Shabads, he does not spend a lot of time talking about the great warriors fighting. He doesn't talk about these brave men going into the battlefield and fighting and dying. These are not those types of Shabads at all, in fact. There's no valor here. There's no heroics. There's no praise of the warrior spirit. Instead, there's this very stark mirror being put up to the reality of what war is. And it's a tough thing to look at. And we know that this is the case today as well in places like Ukraine, places like the Congo, places like Palestine, places like Sudan. And so I really believe that this emphasis on the experience of women is in and of itself a message to us to think about who is it that suffers in war? How can we mitigate that? How can we create more equitable situations? And how we cannot ignore what it is that happens to women's bodies and minds and hearts in conflict zones. And Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is very direct about this. Let's explore the Sikh worldview a little bit now. What is the Sikh doctrine on human suffering? Why must we confront injustice? And how do we tackle corruption and confront tyranny? Ji jan sab tera khel, vijog mil vichriya, sanjogi mel. What does that mean? It means that all beings are your creation. Ji jant are all your creation. Vijog mil vichriya, sanjogi mel. That some with good fortune meet you, Vaiguru, and others suffer in separation because they forget you. And the second Shabad, Sakat hada sad na janiya, tan antar ho me kanda hai, jyon jo chalhe, chabe dukh pave, chamkal sehe, sir danda hai. This is, of course, from Kirtan Soila. And this Shabad here means that the Sakat, those who are disconnected from the divine, they don't know the ras. Sad na janya, ras sakat hara sad na janya. That they don't know the hari da ras. They don't taste the divine essence. Because then antar home kandahe. Because inside there's a thorn of home, the thorn of egotistical behavior and action. Jo jo chale, jabe dukh pave. And you can imagine here Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji is using this metaphor of a thorn. And when you're walking with a thorn, the more you walk with it, the deeper it digs into your foot. So Jonjo Chale, the more you walk, it jobs more and more. Jobe dukapave. It pierces and it causes more pain. Until Jamakal, which is the messenger of death, Sehe Sir Dandahe. Dandahe is a danda. Sir is your head. Until the messenger of death smashes your head in with a danda. Pretty strong shabad here, Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji is revealing. What is Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji saying? And what is Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji saying in the first line as well that we looked at there? That human suffering is not the result of physical pain. That human suffering is not the result of a loss of wealth. That human suffering is not the result of chronic disease. That real human suffering is a result of the kanda of home. That real suffering is when we forget the divine, vichurya, when we have forgotten the connection with Vaheguru. So Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji in these two tuks from two different shabads is emphasizing this idea that suffering is not something that arises because of bad karma, the way that it's understood in the Hindu tradition, but instead is a result of a disconnection from Akalpurk and a forgetting of Akalpurk, a forgetting of Ik Oankar. It's a very different way of looking at the world, and it's not a way of looking at the world that Sikhs today have fully grasped, I don't think. We are still stuck in South Asian paradigms. And so suffering is, in Gurbani's explanation, a matter of perspective. So let's look at this line from Japji Sahib by Guru Nanak Sahib Ji. Ketya duk puk sadmar epe dat teri datar. Ketya, many. Duk, pain. Puk, hunger. Sadmar, abuse. Constant abuse. But then what does Guru Nanak Sahib Ji say? And this is really, it'll blow your mind. Epe dat teri datar. Even this, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji says, Ebi, even this is a gift from you, O great giver of gifts. I always find it very funny in Punjab. You'll often see people's motorcycles and cars have this as a bumper sticker, Ebe Datari Datar, that, oh, this is a gift from you, Vaheguru. Not realizing that the gift that actually Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is talking about is not a gift of material possessions like their car that they're so proud of, but is actually the gift of physical pain, starvation, and abuse. Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is saying that these physical things, even these are a gift from you. That can you get to the place that Guru Arjan Sahib Ji was when he was being shaheed, where he said, Tera kiya meetha lage. That even this experience, I am grateful and thankful for it. Now let's look at two very famous shabads of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, who understood suffering quite intimately. Sukh dukh dono sam kar jane, aur maan apamana, har sog te rehe atita, tin jag tat pachana. The person that understands sukh and dukh are one and the same. That pain and pleasure are the same. Just as man and apman are the same. Man meaning honor and apman meaning dishonor. The person who harksog te rehe atita, that remains atita, detached far from both hark, joy, and sog, sorrow, only that person understands the true nature of this existence. Din jagatat pachana. Tat meaning essence, jag meaning world. Pachana meaning to realize. So Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji is saying here in this stuk that the person who understands pain and pleasure, honor and dishonor, joy and sorrow as the same thing, that person understands what's really up in this world. That person gets it in Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's language. Jo nar dukh mein dukh nahi mane, sukh sneh और पहने जाके कंचन माटी माने जो नर दुख में दुख नहीं जो नर दुख में दुख नहीं माने. That person who, while in physical pain, does not experience pain, but at the same time is not impacted by sukh either, or pe, fear, or affection, sneh, and who looks upon kanchan and mati, meaning gold and dirt, in the same way. That person knows the true way. And so this is the perfect, I think this will answer a lot of the questions that some of you may have been having as we've gone over these Shabads. How are we to understand physical pain? How are we to understand suffering? Well, Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji in the lines before has described that true suffering is not physical pain, but true suffering is separation from divinity. And now Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji has explained further that someone who gets it, someone who's connected, someone who knows the way, understands that pain and suffering and joy are two sides of the same coin, and both things are equally things that are to be um, rejected or experienced in equal measure. That when you get gold, it should be the same as when you receive dirt from someone. Can you imagine if you were to find a brick of gold on the street, how you would feel? And Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji is saying that I want a Sikh who, if they find a brick of gold on the street, is like, whatever, this is the same to me as finding a rock. Can you be that detached from the allure of wealth in this world? And can you, like Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is saying, Ketya duk puk sadmar, ebe dat teri datar. Can you accept these as gifts as well? That the duk and the puk and the mad are also your gifts by Guru Sahib Ji. It is so easy, and all of us do it, to thank God when something good happens. It's really easy. We do it almost instinctively. Oh, thank God that happened. It's really easy to thank the divine when something good happens. Can we thank the divine? Can we thank Eko God when something bad happens to us? Now you've reached a level getting close to where the gurus were. If I get in a car accident, can I walk away from it and say, thank God that happened? That would be wild. That would be crazy. You would think the person was crazy if they said that. And that is what Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji is saying in these lines. It is an incredible change in one's perspective. And again, none of these changes in perspective can be a head first decision. These are not something that you can intellectualize. that you can use scholarship, that you can read about, that you can figure out through your intellect. These are truths that have to be lived and have to be felt through your heart. Meaning, you have to bring the divine word, Bani, into your heart and allow it to transform you. You have to imagine the Guru as a weaver and the Bani as a silk, and your body as a thread, and the silk and the thread are being threaded together. That they're being weaved together, that the Bani is being interweaved into our very nature, into our very cellular structure, in a sense. And that kind of thing does not happen out of any other process, but a process of deep, intimate, surrendering love. Now let's turn to, so we've talked about pain and we've talked about suffering. Now let's turn to this idea of injustice. Does Bani ask us to act when things are unjust? Guru Arjan Sahib Ji reveals, Pe koe na kise ranan da, sab sakhali vuthia, e hoa hale miraj jio. Guru Arjan Sahib Ji says, in this Halim Miraj, which is a term you might have heard before, meaning a Raj of benevolent justice, benevolent rule, no one, pe koi na kise ranada, that no one will persecute another. So Guru Arjan Sahib Ji said, in my ideal human society, no one will persecute another. That's the dream that Guru Arjan Sahib Ji is putting forth in this very important line from Gurbani, the idea of Halim Miraj. And in an equally important Shabad, Bhagat Ravidas reveals, Kayam Dayam Sada Patsahi Dom Nasem Ek So Ai. That this kingdom that I imagine, me, the lowest of the low, a person who is called a low caste person, an untouchable person, as Bhagat Ravidas was, that I imagine a world, not imagine, I actually can formulate, I exist in a world which is stable and eternal. It's Gayam and Dayam. It's stable, steady, and Sada, eternal. In this stable, steady, eternal kingdom, Batsahi, Bhagavad Ravidas says, Dom Nasem Ek So Ahi. There are no second or third class citizens, but all are equal. All are equal. And this is Bhagavad Ravidas's very famous Shabad, which is often called the Begumpura Shabad. Begumpura Ser Ka Nao Hai. Where Bhagavad Ravidas imagines this world where there is no exploitation, no mistreatment, no injustice, and where everyone is equal. So this is a world that Bani wants us to bring about. These are not passive statements. These are not saying Hale Miraj will just happen. A Begum Pura will just happen. These are places that need work to have them be brought into fruition. And very clearly, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji started this path of Sikhi with the goal of making this Hale Miraj, this Begum Pura, into something very real. What then is the root of this tyranny in the Sikh worldview? Why does injustice occur? If that's a dream that we have for the world, why does this injustice occur? Gur Raja, this is from Asakivad, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji revealing this line. Gur Parja, Gur Sab Sansar, and then later on in the same slok, Gur Kure Neho Laga Visraya Kartar. Gur Raja, the king is false. Gur Parja, the citizens are false. Gur Substansad, the whole world is false. Because Gur Kure Neho Laga Visraya Kartar. They have visarya, they have forgotten Kartar, the creator. And thus they are in love with each other instead of being in love with the divine one. And that has led to Gur, falsehood, to take over this society, according to Guru Nanak Sahib Ji. Then later in Asakivad, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji says, Love Pap Doi Raja Mehta, Gur Hoa Sikdar, Kam Neb Sad Puchiye, Behbe Kare Bichar, Andi Rayat Gyan Vihuni, Pai Pare Muradar. Guru Nanak Sahib Ji is saying that greed, love, lob is the Raja. Pap, sin, bad actions are the minister. Gur is the Sikdar, the courtier, the official. Kam Neb, the deputy is lust. And all together they sit together and scheme. So all of these officials are filled with these vices. And the citizens, Andi Rayat Gyan Vihuni, they are blind. And Gyan Vihun, without Gyan, without wisdom. And because of this, Pai Pare Muradar, they are burning in a pit of anxiety and corruption. So the root of tyranny, according to Guru Nanak Sahib Ji in these lines, is people. It's when people are disconnected from Vaheguru and behaving out of selfishness, out of base passions, when they are not seeing Vaheguru in each other or themselves. That is when the world burns. That is when society is corrupt. That is when things fall into ruin. If you want to get to Hale Miraj, you need a populace that is connected. You need leadership that is humble, and you need a citizenry that is in love with the divine, where people are not exploited. But in our regular societies, Gur is in charge. And that leads to corruption all the way down from the top to the bottom. And Guru Nanak Sahib Ji, in some shabads, is really quite direct, where he's saying that these earthly governments that you see around you, these states, these are the real tyrants of the world. Harna baja te Sikh dara inna padya now. Phadi lagi jaat pahayan agge nahi thao. So parya, so pandit bina, jinhi kamana now. Pehlo de jad andar jamme ta uppar hove chao. Deers, falcons, and ministers are known to be trained, the first line. And when the trap is set, they trap their own kind. But having trapped their own kind, again nahi tao, they don't find a place hereafter. They find no place in Vaiguru's court because they trap their own people. So the idea here being that like a fake deer or a female deer is used to trap a male deer when you go hunting. A falcon captures other birds. Guru Nanak Sahib is saying ministers of governments are the same way. They trap their own people. And Guru Nanak Sahib Ji goes on to say, Raja Sihi Muqaddam Kutte. The Raja are like tigers, Sihi. Muqaddam, their officials are dogs. Jai Jagayan Bete Sutte. They go and disturb the peaceful citizens who are sleeping. Chakar Neda Paye Paye Nehe Kao. They inflict wounds with their nails. Rut pit kutte ho chat jao. And when they inflict these wounds on the innocent people, they then lick up the blood like dogs. This is very strong language from Guru Nanak Sahib Ji. And it's very hard to see anything but a very clear message here by Guru Nanak Sahib Ji that he is critiquing the way that our societies are set up currently, the way that our structures are set up, that when a state itself, when the kings and officials act like dogs and attack their own people and then lick up their blood, then you're living in an upside down world. And there will be punishment for these people, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji says. Jithe Jia Hosi Sad, where these people are judged. Nakki Vadi Laitabad, their noses will be severed, meaning your nose being severed is a sign of great disgrace happening to you in the South Asian traditions. Meaning these people will be disgraced. They will not find a place in Vaiguru's court. The ones who inflict these wounds on the innocent civilians and lick up their blood. So for Guru Nanak Sahib Ji, corruption is endemic of the state being disconnected from serving its own citizens. When the state does not serve its own citizens, but instead exploits them, meaning licks up their blood, then the state itself is a tyrant. And if we are meant to fight back and create Halim Miraj and Begumpura, then we need to overturn the way that these state structures operate currently. How do we make all of those ideas relevant to us today? Well, the first question to ask is, who are the Babars of today? And you can say Donald Trump or Vladimir Putin or whoever, Benjamin Netanyahu or whoever you want to say. But I think more important are the Babars that are forces, that are systems. That there's political and economic Babars and there's social cultural Babars. And these are what we need to resist today. Intolerance, ethnocide, gendercide, expansionism, resource control, cultural destruction, social destruction, discrimination. That these are the Babars that Guru Nanak Sahib Ji wishes us to confront today. And Guru Nanak Sahib Ji, in these four Shabads, I believe, from my interpretation and study of them, has given us 3 lessons and 3 calls to action. If we forget Vaheguru, it brings corruption and ruin. So bring Vaheguru into your life and make your life purposeful. 2, the divine-oriented ones identify with the pain of the oppressed, which means you have to answer the call and fight tyranny. 3, speak truth when it is most needed, Sach ki bella, which means do not wait on others or the right time, always act now. Everything starts in Bani with this connection with Vaheguru. I've known a lot of activists. I used to be quite involved in social activism when I was younger and I didn't have kids. Um, and very few of the people who were involved in that activism back then are still involved in the activism in activist circles today. And the ones who are not the ones who were filled with anger and hate, because those ones burned themselves out. It was the ones who were inspired by wanting to make change and who were coming from it from a place of love and compassion. If we want to make change in the world, we cannot be fueled by hate. If we want to make positive change in the world, we have to be fueled by a connection to Akal Purkh. That's where that fuel comes from. That's where we are able to exert change when we are connected internally. Otherwise, you will burn yourself out. You will get cynical. You will say, what's the point of this? How can I go on? What's the point? Every time we move forward, we move 2 steps back. This is hopeless. And you will quickly become a cynic and feel hopeless. And you see it happen to people all the time. If you really want to make change in the world, it has to come from a place of an intense connection to Vaheguru. Can all of us have that intense connection all the time? No, of course not. It's very difficult. But we can start to cultivate it. We can start to bring Ikonkar into our daily practice, into our daily lives, into our minds, into our perceptions, into our daily interactions with each other, with other human beings, and other beings in general. Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib ji says, Pe kahu ko detne ne pe manat an, kaun anik sun re mana gyani tahe bakhan. The person who is not afraid of anyone, but also does not frighten others, that is a person who is a true Gyani. Gyani Tahe Bakhan. Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji says in Slok Malanova. And that is what we need to aim for in our own lives. That we are fearless, but we also do not inflict fear on others. That we are not the subjects of tyranny, but we are not instilling tyranny on others either. That is what Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji says is a mark of a truly connected individual. And finally, as Guru Nanak Sahib Ji says in Asa Ki Waad, Apan Hathi Apna Ape Hi Kaj Savariye. That we must, with our own hands, resolve our own affairs. Meaning, it is our responsibility to fix the world that we live in. It is nobody else's responsibility. And if we want to see the world be a better place, then that is something that we have to bring about ourselves through our own behavior and actions. It's not something that someone else is going to do for us, and it's not something that's going to happen miraculously either. And so we'll stop the sharing there and return to our questions.
Thank you again to
Or no,
everyone
yeah,
listening.
sorry for going over a little bit today.
Oh, not a problem at all. I think we still have about 15 minutes for questions, if that's okay with you.
Yes, for sure.
The first question was in reference to the slide that you had shared about women. So, this listener says, we have seen that history, as you said, in history, as you said, women have suffered the most. I always ponder what can women do to avoid this, even today, from domestic violence, exploitation, and abuse. How to bring about change in society.
That's a really big question. That's a tough question. Um, I think it involves those with power in the situation. So, like in this example, men, to help create more equitable spaces. It involves taking a step back and giving women the space to um, exert themselves and stand up for themselves so that they can manifest their true power that they've been given by Guru Sahib Ji. And that's something that has to happen uh, as both a dual process, both women um, connecting to that inner strength that they have, which we know women have, and for men to take a step back and also to help create more equitable space. And I think that is something that's very difficult for a lot of men to face up to because the easy answer is men need to protect women. But that's not a solution. And that never solves anything because it is men that are the greatest threat to women, usually. And so, how can we be the ones to protect women when we're the threat to them in, in most cases? So, it's a challenging question, but I think the answer is quite straightforward. It involves trying to create more equitable spaces, and it involves um, letting women step into their power and be able to um, really stand up for themselves in a way that they're able to without being held back by men. That's what I believe.
Thank you, Santbir Singh. I understand that's like a really big question and maybe even something for like a whole other course. Um, yeah, the next question is can you elaborate on the meaning of home? Uh, it comes up so often in Sukhmani Sahib as well. Is it one of the five sins of arrogance, or as mentioned a while ago, a separation from the divine? Because one can be reading Gurbani and going to Gurdwara and still possess home. How does one get rid of home then?
That's a really good question. I think if you come to Siddiq, this is a question that we really explore a lot. Not to put another plug in for Siddiq, but um, in Asakivar Guru Nanak Sahib, he says, Home dirag rog hai daru pi ismai. That home is the disease, but within this disease is also the cure. And that's a big question. Like, how can this disease, this thing that's always talked about as a negative, how can it also be the cure? How is the cure within it as well? Home is when we, in a very simple term, when we think of ourselves first before we think of our greater self, meaning the our true self, the divine self. When we think of I, instead of thinking of the bigger self that connects all of us together. A sense of home is necessary to be a human in a lot of ways. Without home, we would not have individual personalities. We would cease to exist. We would be in a void. We need home to be human beings. It's a natural part of the human experience. The question is how that home is used. Is it used to center oneself, or is it used to center the divine within oneself? So that's a very uh, quick answer to a very complex question, and one that is really one of the central underlying big questions in all of Gurbani, which is what is the nature of home and how does one deal with it, and what does this line mean that home is both the disease and the cure? So those are very big questions. We don't have the time to get into them right now, but I hope I've given a little bit of a feel for some answers that make sense to me.
And I've also shared information about Siddiq in the chat if folks are interested in learning more. The last question we have is centered on Begumpura. They ask, is Begumpura a state of mind since human history shows again and again pain inflicted by humans on each other?
I think Begum Buddha is definitely a state of mind, but that Shabad is also a call to action that Sikhs have taken as the core of their revolutionary behavior throughout the 17th and 18th and 20th centuries to bring about a world, a society where Begum Buddha can be made real. So, in one sense, Begum Buddha is where we all need to be residing constantly because we are in the state of being where we are free, because we are directly in a relationship with Vaheguru. But it's also a blueprint for a society that um, that Sikhs have tried to make real and have struggled for and died for several times in our history, throughout our history. So I would say it's both. It's both a state of mind and an inspiration for a real place. Is it possible to ever reach this ideal place? I'm not sure. But that doesn't mean that you stop trying. And I feel like the societies and the towns that the Gurus developed, like Kartarpur, like Khadur, Goindwal, Amritsar, Kiratpur, Paonta Sahib, Anandpur Sahib, that these places were Begumparas on earth. That if we had been alive at the time of Guru Har Sahib Ji in Kiratpur, we would have seen a town that was not dominated by inequality, where people were free and not oppressed, and where there was no exploitation of individuals. And so it is possible. The Gurus showed it was possible. And that dream was brought forward by Sikhs in the 18th century as something that they tried to make real, and something that Sikhs continue to try to make real. So that's, I would say, both.
Awesome. Thank you, Santbir Singh. I don't see any more questions in the chat box, so I can just close this out for today. Yeah, for the last time this month, on behalf of SikhRI, I thank Santbir Singh and our e-Sangat today. Thank you all for tuning in and for spending time with us this month. Thank you for all of your very thoughtful questions. And again, please don't forget to tune into the Sikhcast, a podcast produced by SikhRI, where we explore the various issues and events affecting Sikhs worldwide. Thank you for joining in today. Today's webinar will be ending now. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.